So basically watershed management. So what do you mean by watershed? So basically watershed is a basin which collects the runoff water. Water from a higher ground is collected there and then distributed, right? So basically watershed is a basin. Watershed is a geohydrological unit or piece of land that drains at a common point. So it will drain all the runoff water at one point, right? Watershed is defined as any spatial area from which rain or irrigation water is collected and drained through a common point. It's basically a collection point of water. Watershed and drainage basin are synonymous terms indicating an area surrounded by a ridge line that is drained through a single outlet. So basically here what is happening, you can see that the water from higher ground will be collected in these places, right? So that is watershed. So you are collecting water from the higher ground at one place. A watershed is simply the land that water flows across or through on its way to a common stream, river or lake. Watershed can be very large, example draining thousands of square miles to a major river or lake or the ocean, or very small such as 20-acre watershed that drains to a pond, right? So basically it's collecting the rainwater or the runoff water, right? So the objectives of watershed management is to control damaging runoff and degradation and thereby conservation of soil. To manage and utilize the runoff water for useful purpose. So from there, that basin or watershed, you can distribute the water. To protect and conserve and improve the land of watershed for more efficient and sustained production. To protect and enhance the water resource originating in the watershed, to check the soil erosion and to reduce the effect of sediment yield on the watershed, to rehabilitate the deterioration of lands, to moderate the floods, peaks at downstream areas, to increase infiltration of rainwater, to improve and increase the production of timbers, fodder and wildlife resource, to enhance the groundwater recharge wherever applicable. Right, the storage of water in watershed will result into different kind of objectives, like it will increase infiltration of rainwater, it will decrease the flood, right? Then it will help in decreasing soil erosion, right? Because then the water will be collected, it won't be moving, right? So as the water is collected at one place, right? So the soil erosion decreases. If that water will be moving continuously, that will create more soil erosion, right? Simple thing. Even the deterioration of land, floods, right? The floods will be stopped because of the watershed management, right? And it will also enhance groundwater recharge, right? So these are the things which are important, right? Because of the watershed management, these are the things which are reduced, right? So what are the practices? Watershed management involves many techniques. The techniques can be summarized as grassland development, gully plugs, tree plantation and contour trenching on hilltops and slopes, and contour bounding, water conservation structure, like lift irrigation schemes and land leveling. Public participation and awareness. So integrated watershed development project. The integrated watershed development project started in April 1999. It has budgeted of US $24.4 million and is being run by the experts from different line of department. It is World Bank funded and operated in Haryana, Jammu Kashmir, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. One of its working areas lies in northeast Haryana in the most degraded watersheds of the Shivalik Hills and their adjoining Permoin Plains. The project area has been identified as one of the India's 8 most degraded rain-fed agro-irrigation system. One more we have Sukhmarji Watershed Management Project, a success story of participatory approach. Sukhmarji, a small hamlet of about 100 families located in the foothills of Shivaliks in Panchkula district of Haryana. Central Soil and Water Conservation Research and Training Institute, Chandigarh. Until 1975, Sukhmarji had no source of regular irrigation. The entire agricultural land, 52 hectares, was under rain-fed single cropping. But once the domestic animal, especially the goats and cows, were allowed to graze freely in the nearby hills, followed by indiscriminate felling of trees for fuel and other domestic consumption. The hill slopes, once covered with lush green vegetation, soon become bare and not even a blade of grass was to be seen. In the year 1975, the continuing problem of silting of the prestigious man-made Sukna Lake in Chandigarh drew the attention of Central Soil and Water Conservation Research and Training Centre, Chandigarh. Survey conducted by the centre revealed that the major source of sediment was about 26% of the catchment area located in the close proximity of Sukhmarji and a few nearby villages. Sedimentation was caused by the erosion of the bare hill slopes caused by overgrazing, particularly by goats whose rearing had been traditional occupation of the Gujars inhabiting the village. To address the problem, the research center applied soil conservation technique developed by compromising of mechanical and vegetative measure. This reduced the runoff sediments from highly eroded shivaliks at a spectacular rate from 80 tons to less than 1 ton per hectare within a short span of decade. The vegetative measures consisted of planting of trees, species like kher and shisham, in pits and barber grass at mound of trenches, and also gave Americana and Imporna cornea in critical areas to protect the soil against erosion. To promote agriculture and water availability in the area, earthen dams were constructed. This results in rainwater harvesting and storage which could be used by the village for agriculture throughout the year. Villagers agreed to protect the hilly watershed from grazing and illicit cutting of vegetation, and in turn were allowed to cut grass to stall feed their cattle and collect dry and dead wood or pruned branches from their domestic fuel consumption. As a result, the forest areas which had a desolate look in the beginning of the project were covered with grass and trees. Within a period of 10 to 15 years, grass production increased more than double in the same period. At Sukhmarji, 4 other dams have been built between 1976 and 1985. This served 3 main purposes: to check instantly the gully formation in agriculture fields and thereby effectively prevent silting through the erosion of soil, to store surplus rainwater for the catchment area to be used later for irrigation after the withdrawal of monsoon, and rehabilitation of the catchment. Lessons from Sukhmarji. People's participation must be ensured right from the beginning. The needs and the problems of people must be identified at the outset. Unless a project is aimed at meeting their needs, solve their problems and mitigation their hardship, it may not succeed. Watershed management projects should have short gestation period. The benefits should be available in shortest possible period. The constitution of village society must be prerequisite before taking up sub-projects. The emphasis should be on sustainability and equity. All common property resources must be available to all sections of the society.